Hey there, Clark Brown. Thanks for joining me tonight. I'm actually sitting at my desk. Got to do some late work here. Kind of got dinner done. Drinking some coffee from a friend from Guatemala. I don't know the name of it. It's in the bag, but it's good. And if you like coffee, I think you'll care. So why am I making this video? Not to tell you about coffee, or to tell you about, I'm reading this book tonight. A good friend of mine has given me this book. It's called Boyd. I think you can see it. Boyd, the fighter pilot who changed the art of war. So he was a fighter pilot. Pretty good book. Comes highly recommended by a few people. So not the reason I'm making a video though. The reason I'm making a video is over the last few days and in the last weeks, I'm very, very proud of something that I've been a part of. And I know a lot of people watching this video are in my industry. If you're not in my industry, you're probably clicking off right about now. Or you don't have a great life. I'm kidding. But in our industry, I've been part of the discussion world for a couple of years. The forums. I've planted myself in the middle of a lot of different conversations, and it's a lot of the same things over and over and over, and it basically has a lot to do with, much like a lot of industries, the professionalism of our trade. And there are people, and I'm one of them. There are some that love what we do. I mean, like we love our industry. For you that don't know, it's water, fire, disaster restoration. There is a very big part of helping people, and being an industry that does that, helps people in a time when they need help. It's, for me, that's a huge one. I also love the idea that it's always something different. It's always unpredictable. It's high energy. There are boring times, but it's just checks a lot of boxes. And there, for the right companies who do good work, it can be a very profitable and fruitful career. And you can build a company that provides a lot of good jobs. Again, a lot of boxes are checked here. But the last few years, much like much of the world, has been disrupted by a lot of things. And one of them is social media, the World Wide Web, the internet. And what I mean specifically, it has created a world that just about anyone can start a business, which is great. America is an amazing country. I love it. I support this country. I'm a patriot. But I do subscribe that just because you can doesn't mean you should, especially in fields and businesses and trades and things that have to do with people's health. Now, I'm not being dramatic, but water, fire, mold remediation, trauma falls within our industry. Trauma, which is crime scene cleanups from accidental deaths, things like that. We've watched just about anyone. You don't even need a high school diploma. You can go get an LLC and start a company. Just fine. It's great. And a lot of those companies turn into really good segments of our industry. You know, after they go through, they've got to meet the right people. But the evolution of the information highway, the information speedway, the Autobahn, is anyone can watch YouTube or Google and think they know how to start something. How do I know that? Because people tell me that's how they got started. But then it goes back to the old adage, people don't know what they don't know. So I don't hold everyone fully responsible for that. But fast forward to what I'm talking about, we started a big online presence a few years ago. And the reason we did that is because there was a lack of connection between peers across the country and then ultimately across the world. In our case, English-speaking countries, Canada, Australia, England. And we created an online universe on Facebook that connected these people, and it allowed a few things to happen. Information was flowing, ideas, things we hadn't thought of before. Some people who had been doing the work wrong saw an overwhelming number of people just from discussions, just from being an observer, saw that they were doing it wrong, and they course corrected. And then they asked the right questions, and the right people, mentored them, pointed the way to where they could get better information, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I know dozens and dozens of people that fit into that category that said, oh my goodness, I did things wrong for the first year, 2 years, and I need to go apologize to every customer that I potentially may have harmed their property. It's a fair statement. It's a very noble thing to say. So what happened was, this was great. This was a thing that was growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it did. It got like anything. There's a song by the Eagles. I reference this song all the time in this conversation. I think it's called The Lost World or something. But it's, you call something paradise and you can kiss it goodbye. We always spoil and we spoil everything. As humans, as Americans, as capitalists, we over pull from things. Or there's just no monitor of it. So what I'm saying is that world on Facebook and whatnot began, as it grew, it began to erode around the edges, the quality of what brought people there, the redundancy of the questions, the volume of things happening, just the natural order of things. It just became a lot, 60, 80 new posts per day. A lot of the original contributors, the really good restorers, really good professionals left the group because it was no longer, it just became a lot of different things, including rowdy memes. I think they call them lards, just really trolls, just really egos. I mean, stuff that's always existed that we didn't have in that group early on began to show up in mass, and it became just like anything. It was great till it wasn't. It was great till it wasn't. So we decided what we were trying to do was just too important. We're trying to unify the industry. There's a lot of different groups, organizations, associations that are all generally want the same thing, but kind of doing it apart and separate without speaking to each other and not really getting where they could if we were doing it together. And so we started the Alliance of Independent Restorers. The independent, it means, alliance is aligning people of different things. The independent restorers means people that are independent of the insurance companies and the programs. And if you're not in the industry, you're not going to know why that makes any difference, and I'm not going to go into it. But there's a insurance control over many of the contractors in our industry based on they control much of the financials and the flow and the conversations in it. But it's not great for business people. People are seeing it. So we kind of are on that side of things where we're providing freedom, financial freedom, freedom to run their company, free of that and fulfill their dreams. So we started the Alliance of Independent Stores, and we are trying to gather and gain momentum, which means more people, more voices, the right people and the right voices. Not just any, but we vet, and we have a very high standard of who, not based on how big you are, but really kind of who you are at the core, why your business is, and then just kind of a little bit of your background and your presence in the industry and whatnot. And then there's core values. And if you don't meet those and you do get to join, core values, the team pretty much just draws you out. The tribe, the whole group just kind of doesn't fit. So we left Facebook. This year, 2020, monumentally historic year between COVID, between riots and unruly crime and politics and viewpoints, the level of toxicity that existed on Facebook and social media and mass media in general hit an all-time high. Never in my 48 years have I ever seen hate so easily triggered. And it's not just Facebook's fault, but it's where it was at. It was breeding there. It self creates this monster. A lot of our members left. A lot of our members that were part of the Alliance of Independent Restorers at AIR left Facebook just because of the negativity, and good on them. And I eventually did that. I made the choice that we're going to pull our platform off of Facebook, and we built at a high cost. We sought after how can we exist on our own platform, not just moving to another social media platform, because we started getting into some things with censorship, IP, security, IP being intellectual property, something that we owned. So we built our own. We built a version, our first version, 1.0. Everybody has a 1.0, and it's kind of embarrassing when you look back. But it's something. We built something. And we invested in building it, and it did not meet the muster. It didn't meet the threshold of what people were used to. I mean, we were going up against Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp and TikTok or whatever else. I mean, those are some billion-dollar companies that have invested tons in the user interface. We knew we were never going to get into that. So we went back to the drawing board of March of this year and said, more than ever, we know we're right. We want to, the right people, the right restorers, the professionals, don't mess with the drama, the train wreck, the crap, whatever. And we invested again into our 2.0 version, which was a revamp. It was a lot more current, modern, looked a lot more like what people were used to make that friction. You'll hear us talk about that a lot, friction of removing friction between the user and its platform. Why do we even need a platform? Because we've got to have a place to meet. Email is not yet. We can't have a group text of 200, 300, 400 people. There has to be a communal place to get together. We looked at a lot of things. We looked at Slack. We looked at a lot of things. But again, you're in another person's world. We built our own, and then we said, okay, it's going to have to be an app. Over the last few weeks, we launched effectively our platform months ago. Everyone's migrating over to it. It has a lot of features and a lot of the things we want. And there's still more to come on our updates. We have an update board like everybody else now. We have a Google app that launched 3 weeks ago, and then Apple took us a little longer. There was a lot of red tape to get it, but Friday, we have our own app. Why is an app important? Because it, again, shrinks the friction for the user. People can download the app. Our members can download the app. Non-members, download the app it's called the AIR app. Download it from the iOS store or Google. Both are searchable. There's a free 7-day trial. Join for free. It's limited. You cannot come in. There's a world of benefits in the group, and some of it are tangible and physical things that we just don't want people to come in for 7 days, take all the goodness that all the others are investing in and putting their time into, and then just not join. So we have limited that. We have Mastermind Group, peer impact groups that small, less than eight people get into with peers and professionals. And I'm going to tell you right now, the right people, and I know this, are looking for this. I, as a restoration coach and consultant, I mean that's what I do. I speak to restorers all the time, looking for the answers of how do I avoid the roadblocks that others have come up against? How do I avoid the time of doing things wrong for what I don't know? How do I avoid spending the money? Or where do I go to connect with people that are on the good to go for, the newest things, or who has the best education? putting yourself in a tribe of the best of the industry, those answers come at you from a water hose, from a fire hose, if you will. And that's all we have done is just create a world that brings these pieces together functionally, simply, and there are a lot of good members, and it's just all about the people. And the more we spotlight who's in our group and make it about the people, the other members reach out to each other and say, hey, I saw your member spotlight, or I've seen your comments, dude, I loved how you think. I saw that you said you've achieved something. That's something we struggle with. These people get on the phone for an hour or two, and they actually start visiting each other's businesses. So this is a mastermind. A couple of our members just were at each other's businesses over the last few weeks and trading off, what do you do well, what do you not do well, and maybe I can pick up. That's where magic happens. That's where fundamentally companies grow. And that's something I want to be part of. So for that reason, for this 16-minute video, I wanted to tell you the backstory of how we got here. There are people, for a plethora of reasons, who don't want to join AIR. I hear them. The word independent throws some people off, but we have I'd say 40% of our membership are franchises. So it doesn't matter. We have Serpro, ServiceMaster, PureClean, STOP, AdvantaClean, probably some others that I'm not real sure of. It doesn't matter what color your truck is. It doesn't matter what flag you fly or what color your equipment is. It's insignificant, just like it's insignificant to the customer. The customer's not impressed with a red dehumidifier over a silver. They just want to know that you're going to be able to fix the problem they've got. We're the same way. We just want the right people that are seeking to be better and with each other and to make other people better. That's pretty much it. Reciprocity of take something and leave something. And, I have a goal. John Grubb has a goal. Tyler Stoner, all our members, we all want some things. We want some big, lofty goals. We want to get a membership up so we can get industry-wide, association-level health care. Doesn't matter if you're a restoration contractor or any business. We have a census right now. We're taking names. We're trying to build a list to get more names so that we can provide that to and we've got a few hundred now, but I want to get several hundred, upper hundreds, and maybe to 1,000. And I want to go to our broker wants to go to a large carrier and say, we want group health insurance for this mass of contractors in this association, group size, open enrollment, pre-existing conditions, hundreds and hundreds of dollars off. I know that I need it. I know several people say they're really hunting for insurance. It's really difficult. We want to make this industry a trade. Don't know what that looks like. We're working through it. We're actually talking to several entities right now to what it takes to have restoration remediation specialty become a registered trade in the world of trades, plumbing, HVAC, welding, whatever it is. That opens up the world for a lot of different things. Not necessarily the regulation that I'm in love with, but you might have to give up something to get something. We have way too many restorers doing bad work. So these are some things we're about. It doesn't cost anything to come try us out. If you know me personally, reach out to me. If there's some hesitation and there's something in the way of joining, let's talk about it. I've never been one not to be able to have this conversation. I will tell you that my favorite thing to do is to travel this country, go meet restorers of all shapes and sizes around the country, whether it's at a trade show, whether it's in a town. I'll look in Google and I'll go find 2 or 3 more restorers and just stop in there. Why? Because I love the stories, and I think we're all connected to wanting to do something great. We all know what we don't know, or we don't know what we don't know. Sorry, need more coffee. And people after those meetings, they say, "Wow, I love the idea of this. I wish this happened more. I wish this was out there." Listen, there are other associations that do fantastic things. I'm a big supporter of just about every group that is formed in and close to this industry that's trying to raise the bar. I just think that we have, just like anything, we have found this one little area that we do better than others, or we've focused on this. It's been our focus, which was the community. You might be part of an association that gets together once a year or twice a year, but doesn't really give you an opportunity and a place where you can build some deeper, meaningful relationships. We've got members that give each other leads across the country. People that buy equipment from each other, of course, but what about teaming up with each other in hurricanes? Hurricane Sandy, Hurricane Laura. We had several members that went down together and knew there was a capacity of what they could run or what they could afford to, but together they were able to tackle some jobs that they both fared well, not only with financial, but with experience and helping people down there. They really liked the idea of helping people in a disaster zone. Everyone has something they want out of this. And the good thing is myself and John, and I consider the members, we own it. We can do what we want to. If we find a new passion project, if it makes sense and it matches our mission and vision, let's take those on. So, but I'm very proud. That's what I'm just going to say. Someone asked me today, said, why did y'all leave Facebook? Why did y'all leave all this? I now have a video, albeit long video, it'll be 21, 22 minutes, but it deserves listening to. I know everybody has ADHD and they won't listen to a long format, but those people might just be the ones that continue on looking for an answer. I think what the restorers want, at least the ones I talk to, they want to run a good business that serves people, that has a good training model for its employees, has good retention, helps the homeowners, makes a good profit, and then creates a place where the owner doesn't live 24/7 in this job. And that's hard. That's the hard part. And this group is here to support each other doing that. Building a company where you have a home-life balance and a little bit more vacation, a little more time to go catch Little League games and travel a little bit more and do the things you like to do more, but not be beholden to your job every day. That's not why you started your company, was to have another job. We can love what we do, and you can actually buy the right or to go, if you want to go to every single job, but go as a coach. Go and help your team do better. Talk to the customer from a customer service standpoint. And not that you shouldn't be pulling up flooring, but you've got people for that. That's not the best use of the owner's time. So this is the kind of group that's doing that. This is what we believe in. Just about every member in this group, I would put in my grandmother's house if she had a flood or a mold job or a fire. I mean, I believe in it that much. I'm that confident in some of in some of the biggest names in the industry are with us. What does that mean? There are a lot of places, but they've chosen to come here and put in their time and effort into helping us build this. We're in year 3. There are some associations that are 75 years old. By no means are we trying to topple anyone. We're not looking to remove or replace any association. What we're doing is trying to find a void that wasn't here before and create something else. People can be parts of all the associations. I'm a member of several associations, and participate in any way I can. Sometimes volunteer my time where it's asked. Why would I not do that, right? So if you're interested, if you're a restorer, if someone shares this with you, if you are a member of AIR and you feel others are compelled to hear what this is all about, if you see this video and you want to share it with others, please do. If you're a restorer and you feel that AIR is not for you, I would ask you to reach out to me and let me know why. Because what I want to do is I want to make sure we're not doing something that we just don't have blinders on. We're not going to change it for just one instance, because everyone's going to have their little things. But we're hopefully we're doing well. We're doing some good stuff, and we're only going to get better, and we're going to figure some stuff out. So with that said, I want you all to have a really, really Merry Christmas, and let's hope that 2021 starts to bring us back to some normals where we can plan. Things are predictable, easier for families. Those families that didn't get to see each other this year very much. Get back into some training and coaching, and get, make ourselves sharper so that we can return back to the growing professionalism of this industry that I saw over the last 2 or 3 years until we kind of hit this sandbag. So thanks for if you stayed to the end. Thank you for taking a listen. Wish I had a prize for you. I think I actually do. If you message me, I've got a surprise for you. So message me at the bottom in this comment, or Klark at airestore.org. That's AIRESTORE.org. That's the same place you can sign up for a free 7-day trial. Someone will reach out to you, kind of make sure you get all set up. You'll get an automated couple of emails, just kind of getting you orientation done. It's really fun. Anyway, have a Merry Christmas. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. If you ever need anything, just reach out. Take care.